I just finished watching Sharknado, so this is my Sharknado review, and I want to let you guys know there are definitely spoilers in here. So if you don't want to know what happens, don't watch it until after the movie. It again comes on tonight, I think, at like 9 o'clock on the Sci-Fi Channel. So, what I think you need for a good shark movie are the fast American girls, the girl who thinks everything's about her, the one hardcore chick, who doesn't like sharks because of something happened in her past, the survival chick, and the chick who doesn't like to listen. Then you need the jerky guys, the foreigner, the black guy, the one guy who just doesn't like to listen and, does whatever he wants. And then the one who will sacrifice himself for the greater good of, the group or thousands of people or whatever the case may be. So in Sharknado, there's this guy named Finn. At the beginning of the movie, I couldn't figure out if his name was Sven or Finn. I don't know if it was my laptop or the audio was truly bad, but that was an issue. His name is Finn. He owns a bar in California right by the beach. There's this drunk guy who comes in there all the time. His name is George. George is kind of like the black guy. Since there weren't any black people in this movie, he was kind of the guy who did whatever he wanted. And then he was the first in the group to die. Finn has a best friend named Baz, which he always goes surfing with. Both of them know so much about the water. And then there's this girl that works there. Her name is Nova. And she has a crush on Finn or whatever. So, whatever, they're in the water, shark attack, everybody get out the water, crazy, And so all these sharks just start coming in, biting people, it's random, because sharks do that in real life, swarms of them or herds, whatever a bunch of shark is called. They just come in and they start biting people. So the sharks come in, they're biting people. Finn is like, get out of the water, it's a shark, and then his best friend Baz is out there on a jet ski. That's another thing you need for a shark movie is a jet ski and ruthless killing by sharks, because they're such terrible animals that they're so intelligent that they can figure out ways to kill humans, like the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park who could open the doors. Anyways, so Baz is out there on his jet ski trying to help Finn because he's in the water on his surfboard while he's trying to warn everybody else. He's not fazed by the shark whatsoever. So Baz is out there, he gets bit, and they're like, oh my gosh, so magically Finn ends up saving Baz. They come back to shore. Nova's like, oh my gosh, I was so worried about you guys, And then they end up back in the bar, and there's George drinking again, not having any care in the world. Then, they find out, oh no, there's going to be a storm, all of that good stuff. So, Finn has a wife, an ex-wife, a son, and a daughter. Nova doesn't know this, but why would she? It's none of her business. And so, he calls her, and he's like, you guys need to get out the house, there's a storm coming, all this bad stuff. She's a chick who doesn't like to listen. And Nova's a survival chick who doesn't like sharks because of something that happened in her past. And so his wife is named April, so he calls April, and she's like, I don't care, we're fine, I have my new man, and we're just doing, perfectly fine. So then they all start rushing to get out the bar, closing it, because there's this big storm coming, a hurricane. And then it's Baz, George, Finn, and Nova, and they all get in the car, and of course, when they're driving, Finn feels the need to save all these people who are on this bridge that's flooding, and all the sharks are coming in and eating people, and for sure they go saving people. Now, George helps this lady with her dog, which is crazy because there are sharks everywhere. As much as I love puppies, I'd leave him in the car. So, George, and they all had weapons. George picked up a bar stool, because, that's his seat. So he picks up a bar stool and he smashes the window open, and as he's walking back, to the car, he gets eaten by a shark. First person gone of their group. Of course, they had to have him be the first person gone because they're in a Jeep, and their Jeep can only hold so many people. Now they go to get April and Claudia and Mark, which are his kids. So they get there, and his wife's new boyfriend, his name is Colin, he gets eaten by a shark. Of course, right? Nonetheless. So he gets eaten by the shark. They're stuck in the house. They're trying to get out. All this craziness is happening. So, anyways, all that happens. They try to move forward and, go to higher ground and whatever. And it turns out that only Claudia and April are in the house. The son is at flight school that he didn't know about, whatever. So they got to go get him because, you got to save people and stuff like that. So they go get him and they run into more trouble and more sharks. And Nova's just over here blasting sharks with shotguns, which is kind of ridiculous. But, okay. Anyways, whatever. The only cool part about it was when they were outside and Finn has a chainsaw and he cuts the shark in half. Now that's cool the first time, but when they keep doing it, it's kind of like, all right, we get it. That's how you kill sharks, with the chainsaw. No big deal. Anyways, so the chainsaw, and then there's another chainsaw scene. It happened like way at the end of the movie. And like I said, spoiler alert, of course, they figure out how to defuse the hurricanes or the tornadoes that are that's happening in Los Angeles. And it's so funny because these people figured out how to neutralize the tornadoes, but whatever. So apparently they throw a bomb into the tornado, cold air meets the warm air, it makes a tornado, but if you disrupt the pattern, it'll stop, and then all the sharks will stop falling. There are literally sharks in the tornado, which I thought was weird because why is that the only thing the tornado picked up? And don't worry, hopefully they'll explain it in Sharknado 2, which is coming out next year. That's something to look forward to. But, so Mark is flying the helicopter because, he went to flight school, so now he's qualified to fly a helicopter near a tornado. Mark is in the air flying the helicopter while Nova's in the helicopter with them, throwing bombs in the helicopter, defusing all these tornadoes, whatever. Then, of course, a shark latches onto a piece of the helicopter, and Nova's like, I hate you! And she's, like, stabbing it, and all of a sudden she, like, falls into a shark's mouth or something. It was really crazy. And so this leads to the chainsaw scene. So Finn, once again, it has a chainsaw. His wife came around now. She's listening, so she's trying to help him out. And she takes the chainsaw and she, throws it to him or whatever. And he catches it and he jumps into the shark's mouth. Doesn't cut it in half, none of that. Jumps into the shark's mouth and goes, straight through it. But you can't see him. So he's still in the shark and they're all like, oh my God, Finn, no way, where are you? No, I can't believe it. And then, you see something moving in, the shark's belly. And all of a sudden, he takes this chainsaw and he's cutting through the shark and he's cutting through the shark. And then, he comes out of the shark like a newborn baby. It was disgusting. And then all of a sudden, he reaches back into the shark and who does he pull out? Nova. So, one, I think it's funny. You knew what shark she was in. Two, that's disgusting. Three, they don't even really try to do CPR in her. He checks her pulse and is like, oh my God, she's dead. I'm so sad. And by this time, Mark has fallen in love with Nova because she's so mysterious and hardcore and whatever. And so he doesn't do any chest compressions either. He's just like, oh my gosh, breathe. No, breathe. And breathes in her mouth once or twice, and then all of a sudden she starts coughing up water, which I don't know where she got water from because I'm pretty sure the sharks were in the tornado, which is all air, not a hurricane. And so she's spitting up this water, and now she's fine. And I'm like, this just came straight out of a Disney movie, specifically Beauty and the Beast, because she didn't do anything either, and she just started crying over him, and then he got up. So that was pretty fake. And I forgot to mention the girl that thinks everything's about her as Claudia. She's like, you and Mom get along to save Mark, but what about me? And he's always like, and then Finn's like, I came for you first, remember that. And then she's all like, oh my God, my dad does love me, even though she was the main person. I hate you, Dad, I don't want to talk to you. So that's my review on Sharknado. It's definitely something to see. You watch it for a laugh and for nothing else, to be honest. There's no other reason. Nothing else happens. It's ridiculous, and I'm definitely going to watch the second one when it comes out. I think the reason why this did so well is because it was Shark Week, or is Shark Week today, Saturday, and people were just watching it, and it was interesting, and Tara Reid was in it as the wife. She's April, and yeah. But definitely watch it. It's it's something to look at, something to consider. So yeah, I'm sure I'll review more movies. I always wanted to do a review on the Batman movie, but I never did. But it's never too late for Batman. So thanks for watching.